Hi, everybody. So we are here, and we are finally going to be discussing this book that JL has been trying to get me to read for forever.
I have been tormenting her and taunting her, and I have been telling her for the longest that she has been needing to pick this book up because I kid y'all not, this author, when I first found her, before any of these books came out, oh, chef's kiss, amazing. And the funniest thing about it, I'm going to go ahead and say this now, because I don't think you even knew this, was when she first printed her first book, it was an actual under the introduction of Jimmy Patterson's publishing. So this was like, yep, right there. James Patterson Presents. It was one of the first ones of the under the Jimmy Patterson Presents.
Yeah, first edition.
Mm-hmm. That wasn't the first one though. So that one, yeah, that wasn't the first one. Her other first 4 books were the first of her works that were done under that house, and then came that one. But still, to this day, one of my faves. Forever a Kerri Maniscalco fan.
James Patterson, like every single I've got a couple of books that were done by other authors that did under James Patterson. The fucking cover art on all of those books is gorgeous. I mean, it's absolutely phenomenal. And then the inside where you get like the map effect.
Now, the latest.
Like,
oh, I love it. I love it.
But I will say, I wasn't.
As y'all clearly can see, I'm Wrath bitch.
I'm just which one? Which one? But like, I'm not gonna lie, doing the graphics for this have been a lot of fun just because of like all of the different shit that I had to play with in the artwork. But so we have this book, which was published October 27th, 2020. It is 44 pages from the intro to the end of chapter 5. So that's 44 pages total that we've read. Or she's read the whole thing. I've read the 5 chapters. But
I've read them all.
I'm working on it. I have it.
I know you are.
I'm just living in my military romance phase at the moment. I exited Akbar and but
let's just say, guys in uniform, run.
Hit me up. Just whenever, wherever. I mean, don't get me wrong, we have standards, gentlemen, but still. If you like Rangers, Delta, or Navy SEALs, hit me up. Because I can tell you right now, gentlemen, as durable as you think you are, I will fucking test you. You talk about hell
on
week.
That note of this side quest.
Sorry. What? I have no shame. You know this. So the main. Why don't you tell us like the main plot?
So I'm gonna read the kind of the blurb. I'm gonna read the blurb, and we'll go from there. So let's see here. 2 sisters, 1 brutal murder, a quest for vengeance that will unleash hell itself, and an intoxicating romance. Emilia and her twin sister Vittoria are Strega, witches who live secretly among humans, avoiding notice and persecution. One night, Vittoria misses dinner service at the family's renowned Sicilian restaurant. Emilia soon finds the body of her beloved twin, desecrated beyond belief. Devastated, Emilia sets out to find her sister's killer and to seek vengeance at any cost, even if it means using dark magic that's been long forbidden. When Emilia meets Wrath, one of the wicked princes of hell, she's been warned against in tales since she was a child. Wrath claims to be on Emilia's side, tasked by his master with solving the series of women's murders on the island. But when it comes to the wicked, nothing is as it seems.
All I can say is, some of the stories that Granny told them about the Wicked, I can get behind why the girls were like, "You know what? Maybe I do wanna run into one of these guys." But
Because
it
you've got to remember in the way, and you can even look at the map. Pull the map up.
okay, hold on. I was trying to write something. There we go. Uh, let me take the cover off.
So for everyone's viewing pleasure, you've got the 7 circles of hell, which are essentially the 7 realms of the 7 princes of hell. You have wrath, sloth, gluttony, lust, envy, pride, and which one am I missing?
Sloth.
No, I said him.
Okay, there's lust, wrath, greed, envy, pride, sloth, and gluttony.
Greed. Greed was the one I was missing. So each realm is the home of each of the princes. And according to the story, the Prince of Pride, who is the devil, is the one looking for a bride.
Well, there are so many things. Like, first off, the fact that this
Nona,
is
love
huh?
Nona. Love
Oh,
Nona.
Nona is we were just talking about, the girl's grandmother, Nona, who is like she's like the like, if you needed a visual reference for her, like, we were talking about this, but she's more like the so there's the, ants from Practical Magic. She kind of makes me think of, like, not, Stockard Channing's version of a witch. That's what she
Yeah,
makes
it's
me think of.
Stockard Channing. Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
gosh, you picked the perfect one there. Love her, especially when she played Rizzo in Grease. That was my bitch.
Like, she just has that vibe where she's just like, "Ugh, kids, just fucking do what I tell you already, okay? Don't argue with me." Like, but the fact that it's in Sicily, I love that. I love the fact that it's not necessarily a region that we get a lot in books. A lot of everything is like, it's Europe, but it's nondescript. But Sicily
Mhm.
has some incredible landscapes and
It's
history and
coastal, it's beautiful, it's timeless. You've got you got the markets, you got the food, you've got the culture, you've got the music, you've got everything there. It's vibrant and colorful, but still it's not pow in your face.
yeah. And the restaurant aspect, I'm not gonna lie, reading this book made me hungry a lot. Except when
Yeah.
they were cooking the
Yeah.
snails. Been there, tried that, not exactly a fan.
Mm,
A bit chewy.
Especially after going and watching what I watched with the pit earlier, not the pit, the platform earlier today with the escargot. No, thank you.
I've tried escargot, and I'll tell you, it's not the flavor, it's the chewiness. The chewiness
I'll
is what the
I'll
problem is.
stick with the snail mucin with my skincare. That's about as much as I'll go with the snail mucin.
10 out of 10, do recommend. Also, stay away from the razor clam. It's literally like chewing a Goodyear tire. That shit, you can sit there and masticate it for years. It won't go anywhere. But
I
so
really
if
wanted to get the lemonade recipe that they have because I
oh, the
think someone
wine?
actually went. Was it a wine? No, there was a limonada
Yeah,
recipe
that's got it's
that
got prosecco in it.
yeah, that one. Oof. Mhm.
I'm gonna have to look
Mhm.
that up. Now you just made me think of that. But so we have like the ambiance in this book is straight out of like gothic perfection. I've got to say
That's
that.
something Carrie is very well known for, especially given her previous
Perfect.
book series. Love it.
Like she has so everything pretty much at the beginning of the book circles around the family and the family's restaurant. So they run what is it called? A trattoria? How do you pronounce that? Trattoria. Starts with a T. That's all I know. But I think it's Trattoria.
Hang on.
Okay. But they run this
Keep
restaurant.
talking. I'm searching.
They've been running it forever. One of the really cool things that I thought was awesome whenever you always get like really interesting quotes in some of the books. In the front of this book, there was a quote from Virgil's Aeneid, 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 Aeneid. I don't know how you pronounce that. Aeneid, Aeneid. I don't know. I'm going to sound so uncultured. It's been a while since English Lit 101. Back off. Anyhow, the first one is, I mean, there's obviously an Italian or Latin version of it, but then it says, "If I cannot bend the will of heaven, I shall move hell." I love that quote. I love it because it kind of gives you not only like the romantic vibe of the couple in here, but it gives you the family vibe as well, where like the sisters are willing to move heaven and earth for each other. The mom and grandmother are willing to move heaven and earth for each other. Like it's a very tight knit family that they all really feel responsible for each other. And I love the fact that like there were covens, like real legitimate covens. But then there were a few witches that decided they wanted to play in the darkness just a wee bit. So what?
Sea and Vine is the Di Carlo family
Trattoria?
trattoria or restaurant and is known across Sicily for its delicious food. I love the name of it too, Sea and Vine. Up.
But I mean, so we have that. How do you pronounce that word? The quote, Virgil's Aeneid. I want to say it's an Aeneid, but I can't pronounce it. That's gonna drive me crazy.
Spell it for me.
Aeneid.
Okay, it's a poem by Virgil. It's pronounced
Aeneid. 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 Yeah, that's how you
Aeneid.
pronounce it.
Aeneid.
Aeneid. Okay. So that's the thing that it's from. That quote is pulled from. If I cannot
I don't know what my mic is, but
Aeneid. That's handy. I don't know why I didn't do that. But that's where that quote was, if I cannot if I cannot bend the will of heaven, I shall move hell. I love that. That in and of itself, as soon as I read that, I was just like, I'm in. Like, I don't care what it is from this moment on, I'm in.
interesting little factoid. The Sea and Vine restaurant actually was inspired by the real family restaurant belonging to Kerri Maniscalco and her family.
Yeah, didn't she have like a thank you in the beginning of the book about that? Like she talked about the grandmother and learning recipes from her. Uh for my grandmother Victoria Marie Nucci and my aunt Caroline Nucci. For my great grandparents who immigrated from Cicadia, how do you pronounce that? Cicadia, Sicily to America, whose restaurant inspired much of this story. This may be a fantasy, but the love of family found, but the love, must be a fantasy, but the love of family found within its pages is very real. There we go. I'm like fumbling over my words. But I mean it's beautiful that you do get in the scenes with the family and like the methodology of what they cook. Like they carry you through the purpose for this herb, the purpose for this preparation style, the way certain things, like it almost feels kind of feels like you're sitting there with Anthony Bourdain on on like that Travel Channel show that he had. Uh like
Oh
no
yeah, I know what
reservations.
you're talking about.
Yeah. It kind of feels like that. Like he's taking you, it almost feels like Anthony Bourdain's taking you through like this restaurant being like, this is why they do it this way. This is what it causes when they do it this way. So we have, as JL said, two sisters. We have Emilia and Victoria. and they're twins. And Victoria is she's she's special.
They're both very special. They come from a long line of stregas, which are witches. And they essentially they wear these necklaces. They're called cornicellos, which is an actual traditional piece of jewelry that's worn around the neck of people in Italy for protection against the evil eye from demons, the devil, the whole nine. Victoria's is gold, Emilia's is silver. So they each have their own specific one that they wear. And they're told by Nona that they can never take it off because it will protect them from the devil.
But they're also not supposed to put them together, like,
And you can't bring them
like
together
no
either.
proximity.
No
But,
proximity.
But as always, children don't listen. But one of the
No.
really cool things in the beginning of the book is like they set the tone of why Nona is really, really frightened and really kind of overly cautious. And it talks about it had been nearly a decade for a storm, that the storm had followed a same pattern. So like for an entire decade, this storm happened every single year of that decade. So it was like she could fucking like time it with perfection. And apparently, from what Nona said, she said that the devil demanded retribution, a blood sacrifice for the power stolen. So apparently, this family of witches had taken power from the devil, and he was more than less than thrilled about it. So he was essentially always trying to find that little chink in their armor, because they had protection spells. They had like salt lines across the doorways and windows. They had all of these different, like they would do chanting in front of the fireplace. Like it was like at that point of time, like they were like, no, we're gonna make sure shit doesn't go sideways here. But I mean, first off, also you were talking about the Strega. The very first witch was known as La Prima Strega.
Yep. La prima strega.
So
You guys also have to remember I listen to the audiobooks. So that's why I have
she's
to
better
make
with the
sure they
pronunciation.
yep. So I'm not the best with pronunciation, but if she struggles, I'm at least getting some kind of idea of what it is she's saying so I can be able to that.
She's like, "I know what you mean." Uh, the so the devil wanted retribution. So the witches had cursed the devil, present and past. So essentially, they're constantly almost like trading blows back and forth with the devil. Like the witches are doing it to survive. The devil's like, "I am pissed. Knock it off. I want my shit back." And they're just like, "Sorry."
Essentially. But also you gotta think about this too. Like, baby, you got some shit to figure out. And once you get deeper into the series, you'll learn more behind
Like
that. Because, girl,
I love the idea that they're called the Malvagi, and the Princes of Hell. They're called the
spell it for
Malvagi,
me.
Malvagi, Malvagi.
Malvagi, I think. I think.
Yeah, Malvagi. Like I love that there's an actual kind of like term that denotes them, other than people just keep saying the Princes of Hell, the Princes of Hell, the Princes of Hell. It's like, can we have a different term, please? And she, like this woman, this writer, I gotta give her mad prep. Like the level of detail on every single aspect and every single character. Like the
Yep.
mom, who is technically a side character, got a lot of detail. The dad, that is technically a side character, got a lot of detail. It's
No,
she really builds that world.
yeah, and then there's a bunch of other side characters that get a lot of detail, and they have a story that is part of the main story that I love the fact that she makes sure to include enough detail about them so that way they feel that it's not just like, you know,
Hollow.
um character fodder.
Yeah.
I think
Like
yeah.
they're just background, like.
Yeah. Oh, girl, I'll tell you what, though, you gonna be pissed.
Oh
We
God.
finished that one. You're gonna be pissed. You're gonna be wanting to get the grits and the frying pan and do Serena and Venus with the Medea with the grip ball on these people
Right.
with how bad you gonna get with that
Yep.
book. I'm going to tell you that
Right.
now.
I just took that for. I took that like Ravenhood. I
But see,
know.
here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. Unlike Ravenhood, where that gives you emotional damage, this one is going to make you rage.
Oh, that's great. I already live with an unhealthy level of rage as it is.
No, not like rage that you're gonna want to burn the book or anything like that.
Oh
But that's
no,
gonna be
no, no,
like,
no, no.
no, that's gonna be like backstabbing, like you motherfucker, kind of like rage.
Oh, all right. Uh,
So
but
fair warning.
but so there's a um there is a really interesting thing about the twins. I thought was kind of cool. They're witches, but they were
Hmm.
born on Easter,
Yep.
which is kind of an odd thing when you think about it because
Hmm.
of the whole religious aspect. Like Easter, it's meant for like renewal, but it's also significantly tied to the whole like birth of Christ and stuff like that.
No, you're
So
thinking Christmas,
rebirth, rebirth. Like he came out of the
the
pit.
resurrection.
Yeah. I mean, rebirth works for that, doesn't it? It's basically the same thing, isn't it?
When you think about the aspect of my knowledge and
Oh
everything, you
well,
gotta
okay.
remember
I will defer to your knowledge because it's been a while
this.
since I've any religious anything. But the fact that they were born on Easter, whenever that
Hmm.
kind of little detail popped up, I was just like, "Hmm, interesting." Because it's kind of like if you were looking for a sacrifice, a blood sacrifice, kind of seems like those were the 2 you'd go after, just
Yeah.
because it was like, maybe these are the pure ones that, could do it. But, I
So
mean,
tell me right now, what is it about Victoria right now that gives you the ick? Because you told me before that she gives you the ick. And I want
I
to know a
don't I
little
don't
more, like, your thoughts on why she gives you the ick.
I don't like Victoria because she seems, number 1, unhinged, but also, she
Like you.
yeah, but hey, but
I love you.
but she's unhinged in a very, like, almost diabolical way. Like,
Yeah, you're not diabolical. I just threw out the unhinged
she
because we all know you're unhinged, and so am I.
yeah, it's true. That's not a secret. But, I mean, I don't like the fact that she thinks everything is a joke. That's the thing that I don't understand about her as a person. Like, I understand that, like, being a kid, you can kind of, play everything off as, this is just an old story that my grandma told me, blah, 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 blah. But then as she gets older and she's probably seen or experienced things, she still kind of moves through life with this "nothing can touch me" attitude, and it's just kinda like, "Sweetie, sit down." Like, it's but then she also like, you have Emilia trying to not necessarily toe the line with mom and grandma, but she wants to do her own thing. Victoria doesn't seem to know what the she wants to do other than create total complete mayhem. Which is just, like, derailing Emilia because she's constantly feeling responsible for Victoria, and it's like Nesta and Elaine. Like, Emilia is kind of, like, trying to do her own thing, and fucking Nesta or, Elaine over here, Victoria is just like, "You know what? I'm just gonna do everything I can to fuck up that thing,
Hmm.
including embarrassing you in front of a very, very good-looking priest."
Wait, was he a priest or was he an acolyte?
He was part of the priesthood. Like, he took
Okay.
his vows.
Okay. I had to remember because that part, Antonio, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Antonio. Oh, Antonio.
yeah, Amelia is saying she wanted to grow up a green witch. And essentially, like, a green witch is somebody that deals with
Like a
herbs,
kitchen
plants.
witch.
Yeah, pretty much. And, like, there's this thing that kind of caught me, where Victoria is asking what the demon princes look like. And Nona says they appear human, but their ebony eyes are tinged red and their skin is hard as stone. Wherever Whatever you do, you must never speak
Oh, Nona. Oh, Nona.
you must never speak to the wicked. If you see them, hide. Once you've caught a demon prince's attention, he'll stop at nothing to claim you. They are midnight creatures, born of darkness and moonlight, and they seek only to destroy. Guard your hearts. If given the chance, they'll rip them from your chests and guzzle your blood as it steams in the night. Which I was just like, damn, for a fucking bedtime story, Grandma. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
But Victoria,
Because back then, a lot of the stories were fables and, warnings for kids to be like, look, you need to heed these warnings in your life. Otherwise, you're going to get yourself fucked up. Because if you fuck around and find out, you're going to get
well,
your
I
ass
mean,
killed.
yeah, but Victoria is sitting there eating this up. Like, Victoria is constantly kind of like, it seems like she's constantly kind of like
She's
teasing
goading it
Grandma.
on.
Yeah, it's like she's teasing Grandma and be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do what I want to, Grandma. I'm gonna go find me one of them wicked." And meanwhile, Grandma is just having like an existential crisis about, "I'm trying to keep you alive, you fool." Like, she's like, "You don't understand the full context of what our family has done. Don't fucking do that." And
Don't
she's
fuck
not
it up.
listening. But I mean, like, Emilia goes on and she starts learning about cooking and things like that. She learns about how to properly prepare things. And then
Victoria, if I remember correctly, she's into perfumery, making fragrances and everything like that too. So that's kind of like one of her specialties there, and that's one of the things that Amelia absolutely adores because whenever Victoria would make new fragrances, she'd be the first one to try them out and be able to tell her if she enjoyed them, if she thought that they would get a lot of money for them or anything of that nature. Because
well,
it takes a certain skill and craft to be able to make a perfume
oh,
like that, especially back in that time. Like, you could, guys, Aqua Tofana,
I have no idea what that is.
Bailey Sarian, Aqua Tofana,
Never seen it.
the, the,
I
the,
know
the
who
woman.
Bailey Sarian is, but I have no idea what you're talking about.
So, okay, side quest here because it's Italian, it's got references to perfume. So, even though it's not directly related to the book, this kind of does have somewhat directing with the conversation. So, it's a mini side quest here. Aqua Tofana was a very famous perfume that was sold throughout Italy by this woman. But what it really was it was a poison that she would sell to women to use to kill their husbands.
Okay. I mean, better than arsenic, I guess.
Yeah, because no one's gonna suspect you of poisoning somebody with a cologne.
Be like, "Hey, honey, can you just, like, sniff right here?"
No,
3 seconds
I
later.
think if I remember correctly, they would be able to pour it in to a drink or something like that, consume it, not realizing what it actually was, because a lot of fragrances are made with alcohol. You pour it into an alcoholic beverages, you're not really going to be noticing, especially if you're off your ass drunk. So, if you think about it,
Not
nobody's going
bad.
to
Plus,
suspect a
alcohol
fragrance.
dilutes a lot of stuff and hides the evidence of it, so kinda smart when you think about it. But, one of the things that
Continuing.
one of the things I wanted to ask you about, because I'm curious about this. So, there's on page 8, it talks about, whenever, they had their cornicellos, a shimmering lavender black light exploded from their amulets, startling Amelia enough that she dropped her sister's necklace. So, What a shimmering lavender black light. What is that? Is it a personification of magic or is that something else? Because from what I understand, with
You'll come to
purple,
find out. You'll come to find out what the cornicellos really are.
ruh-roh.
And exactly the reason why they can't be brought together.
Well, them bringing it together kind of fucked Amelia up in a way. It gave her it says it changed her irrevocably. From that evening forward, whenever she held her cornicello and concentrated, she saw what was called a luciere, a faint shimmering or aura surrounding a person. So
Yeah, so she's able to read people's auras. That's one of
mhm.
her specialties as well. She does the herbalism and everything, but she's also able to read a person's aura to kind of get like, think of it like an intrinsic in like the fourth wing. So you're able to like get a vibe off of people.
But the thing that confuses me is okay, so we know something happened to Amelia whenever they connected or like combined their cornicellos. But then
Mm-hmm.
at the bottom, it's so vague as fuck. It says if Victoria also possessed this new talent, she never admitted it. So it was the first of many secrets the twins would keep from each other.
Mm-hmm.
The first, but it would prove and would prove deadly for one. And I'm just kind of like, okay, maybe we don't keep secrets from our sisters. I mean, just slight idea there. But I mean, it's kind of number one, the fact that they mentioned
It's
limoncello. I was just like,
it's vague, but it's foreshadowing. It's really good foreshadowing if you think about it.
it really was because it made me want to keep reading. Uh Nona, okay, there was a part on page 10 that I marked. It says, so their souls So will their souls in hell if we don't save them, Nicoletta. And I bit my lip to keep from smiling. So apparently, she's yelling at her grandmother because garlic is starting to burn. But I just thought that was kind of Granny just being like, "Yeah, well, you know what? You're gonna burn in hell if you don't do what I say." Like Granny does not mince words. She's just like, I am really getting tired of you people being so lax. Like, do you not we should probably give some context. There are different kinds of witches in their village. So there's this family that Victoria and Nona Maria and Amelia belong to, along with their mom Nicoletta. And the gift seems to be passed down only to women. It does
That's
not seem
correct.
to be passed to men. So whenever we read a little further along, it's either chapter 1 or chapter 2, you hear about there being covens, but because there are witch hunters now moving their way throughout the country, they're actually, number 1, having to go into hiding, so they're breaking their covens apart, but they're also trying to maintain a level of, "We're not practicing the black stuff," the whole black magic stuff, "We're not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
We're not doing that."
So
But
it's
then
like basically they're still practicing, but they're making it a secretive way of practicing, but making it look like it's something that's of the regular everyday.
yeah, it just I mean, and then there's cloaking elements to like Nona Maria and Nicoletta and Victoria and Amelia. Apparently they have like cloaking spells on them to make them seem more human and less Strega, which I thought was
Mm-hmm.
kind of an interesting thing. That's an interesting like way of having a character portrayed because when you think of witches, yeah, you can think about like the glamours for like the face and stuff, but you don't really think of them trying to hide their nature. It's just their appearance.
So
So,
think about it like with the Fae. Think about it like with the Fae. It's like a glamoring or like or a protection charm to essentially make them look not nearly as ethereal. So like toning it down a bunch of notches because with their abilities and the etherealness that they carry, it's going to draw attention.
I'm looking to see. There was. I marked a bunch of pages in here. So the first thing there, the first thing that they're mentioned about is there are bodies that are being found, and Nona Maria finally has to come clean and says 2 girls were murdered last week, one in Cicadia and the other one in Palermo. So there are girls that are Strega that are being hunted, essentially, that are being murdered, and they are. I mean, there's some reference to the Malvagi being the ones that kind of, you know, are on the hunt, but there's very little proof of it. But Father Fratello Antonio. Can we please talk about Fratello Antonio? Because oh my god. I told JL, like, I can't do it.
Oh,
I
bitch.
can't do it.
Oh, bitch.
But there
Oh,
was,
bitch. Oh,
everybody
bitch.
knows that sound from Fleabag where it's like, I want to fuck a priest. And I'm not gonna lie. Yes. Because as soon as I started reading, like, she talks about his warm brown eyes, and, like, there's this, I mean, literally, she's just Amelia's bemoaning the fact that he became a brother of the,
The cloth.
yeah. And, I mean, it's so sad because you could tell that she's just like,
She's yearning.
yeah, like, but he's like, "But your hair looks lovely." Like, it he constantly he's, like, giving her, like, little flirting things, but I reminded myself that Antonio was involved with the almighty Lord now and wasn't flirting with me, no matter how much I sometimes wished otherwise. Homegirl was like, "You wanna put the collar down, buddy?" But another thing that I still that kind of alright, so he's a member of they're called the Brotherhood, and they live in a monastery, but the thing that confused me is the Brotherhood lives in the monastery. Emilia has to go back to the monastery. Victoria was hiding at the monastery and scared the shit out of both of them and caused her to break a bunch of stuff. Later on, she has to go back to gather all of her all of her stuff that she left behind. And when she does, she runs into a weird vibe and follows it. And I was just kind of like, "Excuse me? You're a witch and you caught a weird vibe and you were like, "You know what? There have been people dropping dead left and right in the neighboring cities. I think I'm going to follow this weird vibe." I was just like, hello, Sabrina, maybe not. Turn around." Like I know she's got brown hair, but there's a part of me that's just like every fucking blonde in every fucking movie. Like, "Oh, I've heard a strange sound. I think I'll go towards it." It's like, are you really, really shocked when you run into the creepy thing? Because you were walking right towards it and you know it. Just saying.
Yeah. You haven't even come across him yet, have you?
I came across him. That didn't sound right. That's what she said. So,
No, but there's a reason why I asked that because of
okay. So I'm looking to see to find the description of the guy. Okay. He glanced from the uh, kitchen knife I held to the body lying on the table, uh, probably debating his next move. For the first time, I noticed the dagger in his hand, a gold snake with lavender eyes twinned around its hilt, fangs bared. It was beautiful, wicked, deadly. And she says, like, she literally threatens him and is holding her cornichello the whole time. And then, like, it's almost kind of like he opened his mouth about to say whatever it was a person said after they were caught licking blood from the dead. When his gaze landed on the area near my chest, the heat of his focus almost singed my dress off. Excuse me? Singed your dress off? Damn.
Uh-huh.
He'd tasted blood, then had the nerve to stare at me like I was another delicacy put on this earth for his pleasure alone. His only word to her seems to be liar. His voice was deep, rough, and elegant at once. A a serrated blade wrapped in silk. I was just like, a serrated blade wrapped in silk. I'm sorry, but that's a way to describe a man's voice. That's something I've never heard before. A serrated blade wrapped in wrapped in silk. It's kind of like, hmm, deadly yet very exquisitely wrapped. But it's the ambiance that we get. So essentially, Victoria is out and about causing shenanigans, as always.
And if you
And
want a reference of what the cornicellos are supposed to look like, I've got one for you.
and while she's out running amok, amok. Sorry, I had to use that. We're dealing about witches. Anyhow, she's out doing her normal thing. Amelia is just trying to do what she's meant to do at the restaurant because she has other things she wants to do. Yes, those things.
These are the ones that Gadget for Entertainment, the one who does all the jewelry, the one that made the necklace and the friendship bracelet.
Mhm.
That's the
Yeah,
one
the
that they
one that,
sell.
be aware, they're in Italy. We learned that the hard way whenever we tried to buy JL's birthday present, and my card kept getting declined, and I'm like, "Bitch, there's money in there. What's going on?" And they were like, well, it's being shown that you're purchasing from a country." And I was like, "Excuse me, what?" They're like, "Yeah, it's in Italy." I was like, "Excuse me, what?" And the next thing, I was just like, "All right, fix it." I made the purchase and then I immediately DM'd her and I was like, "Bitch, I just paid export costs."
It
I
wasn't
paid
my
for
fault
import
you
for
didn't
you.
ask.
I think my actual words were, "Are we doing it like straight to import now? Are we doing import buys?" Because I couldn't believe that it was from Italy, which I mean, I should have fucking looked, but I didn't. I just went straight to she told me what she wanted and I was like, "Buying right now." And then as soon as it got kicked the first time, I immediately panicked. I was just like, "No, no, 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 no. I have money. I have money. Take the money. Take the money." And my bank finally was like, "We fixed it." I was like, but I made them stay on the phone with me so I could get it to go through, but it did. But
Yeah.
it's some of their stuff, I will say this much, it's absolutely gorgeous. Like,
Mm-hmm.
their
Those
jewelry is
cornicellos, like, so there's those. Um, oh gosh, where is one of the other ones?
yo,
So
jewelry
this
people, hit us up. Sponsorship.
this is also one of the house daggers.
I'm not gonna lie, I like that. I would wear that.
That one is Rats house
I
dagger.
would wear that. Okay, let me ask you this. Out of the 7 princes of hell, who would you okay, number 1, who would you choose, but who do you think would choose you?
No, okay, so I'll be honest. I said I'm Rats bitch because of the fact we're talking about the book. But if I had to, I'm a lust girly. I'm a lust girly all the way.
So, you would choose Wrath, but you think Lust would choose you.
No, I would choose lust because lust, yes. But honestly, I really could. Well, that's a hard one. To
Like,
be completely honest, I'm not 100% because
well, then how about we do it this way? How about we do it this way? You tell me who you think I should choose and who would choose me. I'm looking up the names of them, all of them.
Mm. Yes, I'm using my phone a lot for this episode. Sorry, folks.
Oh, they don't care. So there's 7 demon princes. Wrath, greed, envy, and pride are the 4 that they're told to fear, but there are 7 total. So, like before, there is wrath, greed, envy, pride, lust, gluttony, and sloth.
So, in all accounts of here, your princes' names are, and I quote, Lucifer, Mammon, Asmodeus, Leviathan, Beelzebub, Satan, and Belphegor.
Interesting names. I'm not gonna lie. I actually don't. I don't mind the name Lucifer. I mean, it has a really pretty meaning. It means light bringer. But I mean, bad connotation. But if you really want the true like issue with any of those, fucking Memnon or Mammon is the worst one. That's literally the prince of hell. Like that's the son of the devil.
Not necessarily.
I thought he was the son of the devil. I mean, Constantine. I'm basing it off of a movie.
Well, in this universe.
Oh, okay. So they're using it in a different way. But so who do you think
He's an asshole. He's an asshole. But
all right, out of the princes, who do you think would choose me and who do you think I would choose? Be nice. There should be like a test for this. Why didn't anybody make a filter for lists on like TikTok? Yo, somebody hit us up with a fucking Kingdom of the Wicked TikTok filter. Because you guys know I'll do filters left and right all day long. I literally do 10+ minute videos of nothing but me doing filters. Which the weird witch ones that I ran across was like, what the fuck? But okay, so while she's looking that up, I will say this much: like, who's that? Who is that?
Gluttony.
Gluttony. Okay, which one is that? Me choosing or choosing me?
Okay, so I'm going to show you the artwork.
Okay. Please note that we do not have any.
Oh, there's no ownership of these artworks.
Yeah, no ownership.
These are all Googled.
Yes.
So, your first one is greed.
I don't know. Greed's looking pretty good.
Pride.
Not my vibe.
Gluttony.
I love how we're like having like a bachelor. This is the Kingdom of the Wicked Bachelor Edition.
Greed. Pride. Gluttony. Which
if you guys haven't seen some of the artwork, go to Instagram or TikTok and Google Kingdom of the Wicked artwork. Greed,
envy.
Envy. I might be able to get down with Envy. He's like, full honesty, if my choice was hello.
This one is this one's personally wrath and lust are like my top my top two.
But personality wise, who would choose you? You know your vices as much as I do. My vices, like straight up, my 2 vices, like if they were going based off of vices, you and I both know what mine would be. Mine would be wrath and lust. straight up. That's like I'm wrath and lust coded. I would literally have sex all day, every day if I could. And you piss me off, and you find out what happens. JL has had to sit sadly and listen to quite a few rants, and she's just like, "Okay, calm down, breathe. This is why we've upped our medication." But like, if I had to choose one, obviously I would choose Wrath because she is very defensive when it comes to friendships and people that she loves. If I had to choose a second one for you, I think I'll be honest with you, I think I would choose Envy, but because Envy would make sure that you were worshipped the way you deserve to be. Like, I could see him,
I can dig it.
I could see him like smothering you in gifts and anything you want just to make sure that whenever you go out in public, hello.
That's lust.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Guys,
Yeah. Yeah, that one's for you. Lust. That one's for you.
I am
Lust
Dale knows
and
I am literally like the most horny of all women. There's nobody that out tops me. It's sad but true. But that's what I literally would say. Definitely Wrath, and I would say Envy for you because, like I said,
that's
Wrath
sloth.
would. Sloth. He's not
No, I'm
bad.
just showing you sloth.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say Sloth is kind of he's lazy. I don't like lazy people. Like if I want to
Not
go do something,
necessarily. Not necessarily. There's more sloth than you think. There is
what?
more to these princes than what meets the
Okay,
eye.
first off, so this is Wrath's book. What are the other two? Who are the other two?
So they're all the trilogy itself is all about the story of Amelia and Wrath.
Okay.
Now there are two other books.
I probably should have pulled the other.
That are about the other princes.
We just pulled everything out. So this is the second book, isn't it? Kingdom of the Feared.
That's book 3.
Oh, book 3. Okay, well, this is book 3. Then there is this one, Kingdom of the Cursed, which is book 2.
That's book 2.
And
that one.
Interesting globe on the back.
Mm-hmm. Throne of the Fallen is Envy's book. Envy got his own damn book. And the Princes of Sin books, the ones that she's currently working on now, are much more leaning towards the new adult side. So these books are much more spicier than
First
the
edition.
Kingdom of the Wicked book.
This is the first one that doesn't have like a James Patterson, but it's also a first edition. So I have all first editions.
I think after Kingdom of the Wicked, because she wanted to lean a little bit more on the not necessarily she wanted to warm it up some.
Move it up a few chili peppers.
Yes.
So this is another, you said this is a series that isn't tied to this one, but it's in the
No,
same universe.
it's in the same universe.
Yeah.
But it's about a different prince. And then there is this one, which was the latest one that came out,
Yeah,
which
I
is
still
from
have to get that.
Secrets. And that one is about gluttony.
This thing is a honker and a half. Got to give her credit for that.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I will say this much: she is, she's really good at like keeping you informed on what stage in the book you're in and stuff like that. But like, also
Her details.
cover art again, fucking killing it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
she really does do, like, I mean, seriously, the cover art that this lady has done for these books has been absolutely fire. Like, I don't think you have, there's a level of detail that goes into each of them that is just astonishingly gorgeous. And I will
And
say this,
just
I like the
just so
fact,
you can see, this
ooh,
was her first book.
ugh. Yes, those are also on my TBR.
Yes. There's that one. Book 2.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm really like, and I've heard good things and I've heard bad things about that series, but I want, like, I really didn't give a shit because it was like Houdini, Jack the Ripper, that sort of thing. I was like, I am down 100%.
Now,
Yeah,
this
go
one's got a
go.
different styled cover. This one's more along the lines of like the Dark Academia, because she did like a whole like cover update. But this was the original hardcover.
I like that one better.
Because if you look at the skirt, it takes place during the Chicago World Fair.
Ooh. Yeah, JL knows that, like, I don't know if anybody's been seeing the promo, but I have literally been busting my ears on the fucfucking promo, like, for all of this. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna share some of this because I'm proud of it because it took a lot of time. So, no, 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 no. Everybody gonna sit and look. Ta-da! So there's that one, and then there's, where is it?
And then there's also another special novella to that one as well, which you're going to want to make sure you get your hands on too.
Ooh, Becoming the Dark Prince. There's that one.
It's a Stalking Jack the Ripper novella.
Ooh, I like that. Jack the Ripper. Like, Kerri Maniscalco, can you please just come on the show and talk to us about your stuff? Pretty
I
please.
know,
She's
I would
vegetarian.
love to have her.
And then there was this one that I did. I told JL I liked this one the best because whenever I blended the actual book cover art with the skeleton, it actually looked pretty good. Like, and it's a tarot card.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was appropriate. I only got one more to show, and then I'm not going to do the show and tell anymore. But I like these. These were a lot of fun to do for me because I wanted to get into doing more artistic type representations of the stuff that we're doing. But um, like, I'm not gonna lie, it was difficult at times to figure out what the fuck I wanted to do. Where is it? There's one more. Where did you go? Where'd you come from? Where'd you go? I'm so off. I'm so off in the head. I apologize. But ultimately, so yeah, that's the one I wanted to show.
But ultimately, here's my question. How likely are you to finish this one?
Oh, definitely. Definitely going to finish. Like, I would continue reading, no doubt. Like, it after you hit I will say this, if people all right, if you are in the middle of a book slump like I was, this was essentially, like, our idea because I was in a book slump and I couldn't keep up with her or couldn't get on the same thing with reading. She was reading and I was like, "I can't. I don't know what's wrong with me. I keep getting stuck." So, this was kind of like the Trope TBR thing was a way of us kind of experiencing books without feeling that weight to sit and read the whole thing to discuss it. So, reading the first 5 chapters, you get kind of a sense of the connection you're gonna have with the characters, the plot, and the general kind of, mood, the vibe that you're moving into by chapter 5. So, because by chapter 5, most of the time you're moving into serious plot. So, it I would definitely consider reading it and finishing it because I'm interested. The chapter 5 ending was enough for me to be like I literally DM'd her and was like, "What the with the fucking ending on chapter 5?
Remind
What
me
is
again about
going
that
on?"
one again.
Huh? It was where
Remind me again.
it's where she ran into Wrath and then he disappeared and then she's literally standing there over her sister's body trying to wake her up, but it's kind of freaking her out because she's like, "It looks like me." Yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
there's
Mm-hmm.
uh
Mm-hmm.
notes from the
Oh,
Decalo
just you
Grimoire.
wait. Oh, just you wait, because it's gonna get crazier.
Magic is a living, breathing entity. It thrives on the energy you give it. Like all forces of nature, it is neither good nor bad. It simply becomes based on the user's intent. Feed it love and it blossoms and grows. Nourish it with hate and it will deliver hate back to you tenfold. Which
Mm-hmm.
I thought was really kind of cool because it is kind of actual. Like there's the rule of 3 that everybody knows, from Wicca, and
Mm-hmm.
if you were a Charmed fan, you know that as well. But I mean, it's gothic. It has a really good setting in the country that it's set up in. It has a lot of kind of I'm a
It's
I
very
was a
it is a period based story. You have
it's
to remember
immersive.
that it is period based, so it's not anything modern, anything like that. It is set in the 18 something or another, late 1800s.
Yeah. Like I like I like the vibe of it. I like the fact as a history major, the area that it's in, the elements of history at that time period. Like we're talking about witch hunters, and around that time period, both in America and in the majority of England, there was the witch craze that was happening where everybody was being fingered by every.
And you haven't even been hanging out with Wade that much.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph, I'm never gonna make it. I almost did it again. I almost did it again. People were being I don't know what to say. They were accused. There we go. That's a good word. Accused.
Accused.
Yeah, they were being accused
Accused.
of being a witch and stuff like that at that time period. So the fact that this is happening in a really religious area of an area that is known for like the birth of religion in a lot of ways because of Rome and things like that. So there's a lot of really interesting aspects that you're playing off of when you see the kind of strega like society that's built up versus what the humans are actually seeing and understanding and knowing anything about. Then you bring in the otherworldly like demonic people and you're just like there's a lot going on in different levels of, like, reality we know nothing about, which makes it even more rich of an environment to dig into because you're just like, you don't fucking know what's gonna happen next. Anything could pop out of anywhere. That didn't sound right either.
Oh, wait till you get to book 2. You want to know why?
Yes.
You're gonna get to go to hell.
Ooh, I've always wanted to go there. Is there a pool? Lake of fire.
Yes, there actually is.
There's a pool in hell?
It's more like a lagoon.
I was gonna say, I could see a sauna. Wasn't really expecting
It's more
a
like
lake.
it's more like a lagoon.
That's gonna be interesting. We
It is
Damien
a
Hell,
it is
we
a it is
define.
a it is a very interesting scene, I will say that. No, you are
Okay.
not allowed to jump ahead.
I know I'm not. I'm forbidden from jumping ahead in anything. But as I told
Yep.
JL, I'm still here. This is where I'm still living. Lexi Axelson has me in a chokehold. Like Harder Than Sleep Token has everybody in a chokehold over their new album. Like
You're not wrong. Damn.
dude, Damocles is a fucking badass song. Caramel is good. Provider almost brought me to my knees. But I love
Okay,
Damocles.
you need, if somebody told me this, you need to listen to, what was it?
By the way, that is something that we are planning on starting. We have a podcast Spotify. It's in our link tree. I'm gonna start building like we're both gonna like contribute to actual like playlists based off of the books that we talk about, whether they're TBR or whether they're just random things that we've finished and we want to discuss, that sort of thing. So keep an eye out for that. And if you don't mind, go check out the merch because there is a design there that is not this one because copyright and I don't want to go to jail. There's one
Yeah,
reminiscent.
no going to jail.
There's one reminiscent of the vibe of said book. I don't copy people's shit. I like being outside of jail. So go check out our merch. We've got some simple designs. We have some that are more detailed, but go check them out, please, because I worked really fucking hard on them. That would be Stella scraping her coon. But I mean, I like Amelia, but I will be honest with you. There's a part of me that kind of at first, I think the reason why I didn't get into the book right away the first time was because I was like, Amelia is boring. Like at first I was like, she is bland as fucking dry toast. What the hell? You want me to go on an adventure with her? Give me the fun, sister. But when you read it, like this really was one that I needed. It needed to breathe. It needed to breathe. I needed to have enough, like, I don't know. Like it's something that took me a while to touch again. That didn't sound right. But once I did, again, didn't sound right. I give up. Fuck it. I give up. I don't care. If you're watching this on the rewatch, you know I'm unhinged and I'm the queen of double entendre. Challenge me. I dare you. Uh this one needed to breathe a little bit before I could actually go back to it and actually connect in a way with the characters that didn't feel like I was rushing towards the end, which I mean, let's be honest, they're not very thick books. None of them in the series are like very thick. I mean, there's something that you should be able to burn through quite quickly. Now, when it comes to this honking thing, you may want to take your time because she's thick.
Now,
But
that one, I will say the reason why you're definitely going to want to take your time is it's spicier. There's more detail. And she's not got as many boundaries put on her as the original trilogy did. So, oh, also, when you were bringing up Sleep Token, you need to listen to Dangerous from the new album and Vor from their last album. And you'll get why if you think about it when you go and listen to them later on.
I'm trying to put all my babies back where they were. That one's not going to fit, so you're going to stand right there. Stand there and look pretty.
I can't hear you.
I I said I was putting all my books back where they were. Now I'm grabbing some stuff. I'm primarily doing this one because I forgot to do it, but also because I needed to stand up. My legs hurt. So that was our number 6 trope in the list. That was our witchy vibe. And so now we have just a few left. I think we have trying to think. Ugh. Move down there, notebooks. We have so we have Shatter Me by Tara Mafi for our enemies to lovers trope. We have Fake Marriage, which is our Leather and Lark. I'm really excited to talk about this one because this one,
Yeah.
I love. I told her, I said, I think I actually like them more than I like the first couple. And then,
Which I still think is blasphemous. How can you not love someone?
I don't know. It's just Lark's more my vibe. Then we have the P.S. You're Intolerable for Single Parent. I don't have that book physical copy, nor do I have Reckless by Elsie Silver, who is our surprise pregnancy. I did read the first 5 chapters of that and did react videos. They're up on the page and on Instagram, I think. We just did our witch. The next one we have is Caraval, which is our mistaken identity. And this one, everybody, I told JL, I was like, I've heard mixed reviews about this.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that it is good. I've heard that it is shit. I've heard that it's in between. I've heard that it's mediocre. I actually started reading it and I actually really liked it. Like I
Me too.
dug into
Me too.
it real
I
fast.
think that'll be our next episode, honestly.
Caraval, I'm down.
Yeah.
Then after that, we have The Fine Print.
Straws out the have.
By Lauren. This is by Lauren Asher. And this one is another one that I've seen this forever. I didn't know if I would actually like it or not. Once I started reading it, I was like, you know what? I actually dig this. It's kind of Mushu. The last one we still have is our Mafia romance trope, which is going to be H.D. Carlton's Phantom. So everybody better pucker up for that one because that one's going to be interesting.
Buckle up, buttercups, and keep y'all. And yeah.
So that is our episode on Kingdom of the Wicked. If you guys have any thoughts, feelings, or anything, make sure you click the buttons, share the video, do all of the YouTube things.
All the YouTubies, all the Instagram, TikToky, like, subscribe, share with your friends, share with your aunts, share with your cousins.
But again, there are spoilers, so beware. But go check out the book. Go check out Kingdom of the Wicked by Kerri Maniscalco. Make sure you get the whole series instead of just buying book 1, because let's be real, if you're going to buy book 1, you're going to want 2, and if you want 2, you're going to get 3. Just save yourself.
And then if you finish 3, you're gonna want to read the rest because you can't get enough of the Prince of Hell.
Addicted. So we'll see you guys next time. Keep your eyes out for our promo and for our announcements on our next show. And if you have a book you want to suggest, just leave it in the comments or hit us up on the socials. Okay. So we'll see you later.
Light it up, bitches.
Light it up.